Yeah, we are live. Hello, everyone. I'm Sanjay Gupta, and I have Abhishek with me. Welcome, Abhishek, on the platform. So, this is our first live session of this year, and as you can see in the slide, so this is basically season 2 of OmniStudio Bootcamp. So last year we did a bootcamp on Salesforce OmniStudio, where Abhishek explained you his expertise on OmniStudio in terms of concepts, right? And he tried to explain few concepts like with you, right? So the idea with this bootcamp season 2 is lots of people requested like can we have some scenarios and project implementation related sessions separately, right? So for that purpose I again connected with Abhishek, and now we are here with you. So like we will be explaining you each and every scenario sequentially, whatever concept you already learned through the season 1 bootcamp, right? And we will be having a few end-to-end projects, right, where we will be implementing DataRaptor, integration procedures, OmniScripts, flex cards together, right? So this way, like you can master your OmniStudio skill set, right? So I hope this season 2, all the episodes will be brushing up your OmniStudio skills so that you can thrive your career in industry clouds. Okay, so this is the idea. And now moving ahead. So, I always start any bootcamp with this slide only. So, in this slide, you can see the beautiful picture of Hawa Mahal, and which represents our base location, right? So, me and Abhishek both are from Jaipur, and in Jaipur we have lots of companies or a huge community of Salesforce, right? So if you want to share your location, so you can just put a comment in the chat so that I can know like from which location you are. So meanwhile you are sharing your location, so we'll be moving on to the next slide. So I just want to give you my update. Like last year I also learned OmniStudio, and I am fortunate enough I discussed all the concepts with Abhishek only, right? He guided me what all OmniStudio concepts are there, and I was able to clear OmniStudio developer certification. So as we already discussed in previous bootcamp, like if you go through all the videos, you will be able to crack both the certification, either developer or consultant, right? So I gone through with that content only. I just prepared myself. So the same way you can also prepare yourself, and you will also be having that particular certification because this skill is demanding in the industry right now. So this is update from my side what I did last year, and I also shared my knowledge with you. Now I just pass it on to Abhishek. So Abhishek also have some updates for you. He also did a couple of certifications. So over to you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Sanjay. So, hi everyone. Myself, Abhishek, and I'm working as a Salesforce and Velocity developer in this industry, Salesforce community, since 5+ years now. And from our last bootcamp to this bootcamp, I have also obtained some certifications. And one of them is industry CPQ developer. So this is also a velocity certification, which was known as Velocity CPQ developer, but now after the acquisition with Salesforce, it's known as industry CPQ developer. So that's the new update from my side on the certifications. So yeah, that's all, Sanjay.
Okay, thank you, Abhishek, for sharing the update. So I think we can jump on to the next slide. So as in previous bootcamp also, I shared this slide with you. So in this slide, you can see a QR code. So this is basically having a Telegram group, right? So where lots of folks are communicating with each other, and they are helping each other to learn Salesforce skills. So if you want to become part of that community, you can scan this, and you can also join the Telegram group. Okay, and next, like all the social media handles of Sanjay Gupta Tech School, if you follow them, you will receive all the timely notification. And this year also, I have planned a series of bootcamp, and this is the first bootcamp I started, right? And in next upcoming bootcamp sequence will be like AI. So we did a couple of sessions on AI bootcamp, but due to some issues, we stopped that bootcamp, and uh, I think at the end of this month I will be restarting that bootcamp. And other than that, we will be having LWC, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Experience Cloud, and other skill set as well. So all those bootcamps will be starting soon in this year. Okay, so with this note, I think now we can start the implementation. So this is also important, like if you can share your feedbacks, reviews, if you are following all the sessions of this season 2 OmniStudio Bootcamp. Okay, so I think without wasting much time, we can just focus on. So this is the beauty of this channel. Like we don't talk much about these things like introduction and all. So this is the first session. That's why we are discussing in detail. Now let's jump onto the specific topic for which you are here. So Abhishek will be implementing each and every scenario one by one. So here in this videos you will be having the solution implementation only. So if you don't know about the topic, so you need to follow the other videos, right? And if you want to see other videos, those are part of season 1. So the session tracker is available in the description of this video. From there you can find other session videos as well. Okay, so I think now we can start, Abhishek.
Yeah, sure, Sanjay. So, from our previous bootcamp, what we have learned about OmniStudio, what are the components we have into the OmniStudio tool, and I mean, like we have four tools in OmniStudio: DataRaptor, integration procedures, flex cards, and OmniScripts. So, in this bootcamp, we will not discuss about the theoretical part more, but we will be just implementing whatever scenarios we have listed for you guys. So I will jump onto the org directly. So first of all, we will be implementing the first scenario where we are saying that fetch ID, account name, and annual revenue from account records where active is equals to yes. So from this scenario, we can say that it's a scenario of DataRaptor, right? So again, we're gonna explain all the scenarios in the sequence that we have learned all the topics in the season 1. First will be DataRaptor, then we will implement IPs, then we'll implement OmniScripts, then we'll implement the flex cards. So let me jump onto the org.
And guys, if you have OmniStudio org, so that is well enough. If you don't have, so the OmniStudio org creation link is also available in the session tracker, and session tracker link is available in the description of this video.
Yeah. So we have to fetch ID, account name, and annual revenue of the account where active is equals to yes. So first of all, we're gonna create a DataRaptor, which will be of type extract, right? And if we according to naming convention, we'll name it as DRE underscore fetch account information. And this scenario can be achieved with the help of turbo extract or extract. So we can use both. So first of all, I'm going to explain the turbo extract. So I'm going to select the turbo extract and click on save. So we're going to select the object, from which object you want to fetch the records. Then extract output path, it's nothing but it's a variable name where you will receive all your data output into this variable. And here we are saying active is equals to yes, right? And which fields we want to fetch? It was ID, account name, and the annual revenue. So first of all, ID is pre-selected. We'll fetch the annual revenue and the account name. So account name, yeah. And if I go to preview and click execute, it will fetch all the account information where the where the active is equals to yes. And just for verifying it, I'm gonna select the active field as well so that we can see that also in the result.
Right.
Yeah, here we go.
Yep. It is easy to identify whether we are fetching the correct information or not.
Exactly. So that's the first example. I hope it was easy and it is well understood by everyone.
And guys, on right side, you can see queries also created. So that way also you can verify like how data is being queried from DataRaptor.
Yeah. And one of the things that we should keep in mind whenever we are implementing any sort of DataRaptor, uh, try to remove all the hard-coded values where you are using all the where clause or the filter criteria and all these things. So right now I have kept it as hard-coded value because in the upcoming example we will be using the dynamic value for this one. So, but yeah, we'll not. This is not a good practice to have it hard-coded values into the filter criteria.
Right.
So, moving on to the next one. On the next one, we have fetch ID, account name, annual revenue from account where active is equals to yes, and annual revenue is greater than equal to 1 lakh. Okay. So, at this time, we're gonna use a dynamic value for the active parameter as well as for the annual revenue parameter. So what we're gonna do, I think for that one, okay, we have a
Yeah, we have
yeah
like
we
yeah in fourth one we need to pass the input parameter. So I think there we can
sure
see
yeah
that. So this is basically
okay
based on logical conditions, like how if we have two conditions. So
yeah. So in this example, we are saying we will be having two filter criteria. First is active is equals to yes, and the second is annual revenue should be greater than equal to 10,000. Sorry, 1 lakh. So for that one, we have to click on this drop down icon from the filter criteria and click on the end button. And from here, you can select the other field field API name. And from here, you can select the operator, and then you can type in the value for it. So as you guys can see that for the active one, I have mentioned the single inverted comma, but for the annual revenue, I haven't used that single inverted comma. The simple answer is this is a string value and this is a number value. So we don't need single inverted comma for the number values. And now if I go to preview and click on execute, okay, it says no valid data is returned. Check that. Okay. It's that one. Hmm. I think
yeah, I think this is something else, not this.
just a second.
Yeah,
So as you can see,
there is no data, right?
so there is no. So basically, what was happening when we are using this operator, where we are saying it should be greater than 1 lakh. So it's kind of returning a error, right? So so for debugging it, what I did, I just said annual revenue not equals to a blank value, okay? And if we go to preview and click execute, now there is no account where annual revenue is not equals to null, right? And so basically what we're gonna do here,
Maybe if we can go to the org and check the account records.
yeah. So what we can do is we can go to the accounts. I'll click on this one of the account and let's just search for it.
Yeah, Abhishek, what we can do, just go for all list view, and then we can add that field in the list view, annual revenue, so that we can see. We need to select the all list view from left.
Yeah.
It will be easy then. Yeah, annual revenue. I think there is no there is no account record where annual revenue is greater than 100K. That's why it is happening.
Yep. Okay.
Annual revenue, yeah, we need to shift it. Yep.
Yeah. So
it is there.
Okay. No. We have some data where annual revenue is.
So maybe if we put it in single quotes, but I don't think it is a number, so we cannot put it in single quotes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we can try that, but I don't think so. It will work like that.
No, it is.
It worked like that, but no data is still returned. Okay, why is that?
Okay, the combination, actually the combination, active yes and greater than 100K. So I think we can put that field as well in the list view, so that we can have a comparison.
Sure.
Yeah. So active field also we can put. So guys, I think you are also understanding. So this is the idea behind doing these sessions, because there are times when you are implementing some scenarios, so you get stuck and you need to do debugging. So these are the best practices through which you can do the debugging. So here you can see, I think we can sort on active. Just click on active. So it will be sorted. Descending, so yes will be on top. So on yes, like we don't have any annual revenue populated. So that's why I think data is not coming up.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put value on one of the accounts. And
annual revenue is on top.
Yep. Click save, go to the DataRaptor and click execute. It will give me the account list for that account.
Yep. So I think now it is working. So guys, what happened? We are trying to fetch those records where active is yes and annual revenue is greater than 100K. And with this combination, there was no record available. So that's why it is not returning any value. So if you encounter this kind of scenario, so you need to make sure you have proper data set available. And I think, Abhishek, we need to use single quotes. Without.
It might be possible that this is in the new version of that OmniStudio, they are saying that number fields also should be fetched with the help of single inverted commas.
Can we try removing and then if it is?
I think it will get failed. Execute. Yeah. So that's the
right. So we need to use single quotes with the currency field as well.
So basically that's the as Sanjay you have mentioned, that's the main agenda. So when we were fetching the data without the single quotes, then there was some error. So we tried debugging it with looking at the data and all these things. Still, when we added the single quote, still we were not able to fetch the data because we didn't have the data into the org.
Right.
So that is how we do all the debuggings. Also, sometimes what happens, for example, let's say, um, I'm not able to fetch any single data with this query. Okay. So for what I'll do is, I'm gonna just remove that value from here, and I'm gonna click on this execute again, right? So sometimes we are not receiving any data, but there is no error also into the DataRaptor.
Right.
So what we can simply do is you just copy this query and put it into the developer console query editor and try to see that if you are able to receive data from there or not. If you are able to receive data from there, then there is some problem with your DataRaptor. But if you're not able to receive the data from the query editor as well, then you don't have that data into your org. So that's the main reason.
Right. So we can debug it in two ways, like from UI through list views we can verify, or through developer console also we can check whether data is available or not.
Correct.
Right.
So I think that is also completed. Let's move on to the next example, where we are saying fetch account records where active is equals to yes and owner is logged in user. Okay. And in this question, there is one thing mentioned over here, which says use this velocity keyword, $.velocity user ID. So what this will do is, so for this one, we're gonna create a new DataRaptor, which will be of type extract. We can use it into the DataRaptor turbo extract as well, but just for the demo purpose, I'm just gonna create a new DataRaptor of the extract type.
Right. And Abhishek, in real time scenarios, like we create separate data raptors for separate functionality, right?
Yeah. So click on save.
And just to recall, turbo extract and extract. So I think turbo extract is for one object and extract is for multiple objects.
Yeah. So if I redefine it, so turbo extract is for if you want to fetch the data from a single object and direct parent to that object. Okay. Like if you are fetching the data from contact, then the direct parent of the contact is account. Then in that case, we can use the turbo extract. But if you want to fetch the data from two objects which are not related to each other, then we can use the DataRaptor extract.
Okay.
So click on this one, and again give the output JSON path where active is equals to yes, and the other, oh sorry, my bad, I clicked on the add extract tab. Add an end condition, and here we will say owner ID is equals to, so it was like $velocity dot user ID. So you have to remember this syntax as is. It would be $velocity dot U will be capital and then the I will be capital. So that is how it will pick the logged in user ID. So basically, this is a keyword that OmniStudio provides or Velocity provides, by which you will get the logged in user ID. The same way we get the user ID of logged in user into the Apex with the help of I think user info dot login.
Yeah, right.
Kind of. So that's the thing. And with the DataRaptor extract, we get two more tabs. First is formulas and second is output. So formula is for if you want to process your data or add some sort of conditions. And output is to what fields you want to get into your output result. Right. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the active, and second we'll get the let's say name for that account. And if I go to preview and click execute, so I'm getting the account information with the 26 results, 26 records. Sorry, 5 records, my bad. So if I go to accounts and all list view,
Yeah, so we can see on top 5 records are there where active is yes, and like you are the owner
correct,
as you are the logged in user.
exactly. So this is how we can verify it. Also, from the query, you can see it automatically picked up the logged in user ID,
Right.
right?
Yeah, I think in
And
some scenarios it will be useful, like how to get the logged in user ID. So that's why we picked this scenario.
correct. So that's the thing. And I mean, we have few more options available into the DataRaptor extract or turbo extract. Like you can set the limit, offset, order by, and if you want to delete this filter, that also you can do it. So
Yeah.
that's some features of the DataRaptor. And the major difference between DataRaptor Turbo and DataRaptor is in the DataRaptor Turbo, you don't have to create the mappings by on your own. You just have to select the fields. But into the extract, you have to create the mappings as well, because you can fetch 2 objects which are not related to each other. So that's why we have to create the mappings manually.
Right, and
Right.
if you want to learn these things details, so those are already explained in the previous year videos. So that playlist is available. Those session links are available in the session tracker. So just understand those concepts so that you can understand these scenarios very well.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we can
Now,
pick the last one now.
yeah. So for the last one, what we have to do is fetch account records where active yes and rating hot. Value of rating will be set up as an input parameter and use that filter into the extract data. So in this question, what we are trying to say that whatever fields that we are hard coding over here, we don't need we are not supposed to hard code because this is not a good practice. So how are we gonna do that? So for that one, we have to create some variables. So for example, let's say I'm gonna name it that as active param, and I'm gonna remove this owner ID one because I don't need this one in this example. And I'm gonna add one more where we are saying rating is equals to hot, and that should also come from the input parameter. So now if I go to preview and click execute, I'm not gonna receive any sort of output. The reason is DataRaptor will think that these 2 are the variables which will get passed either from your these parameters will get passed from whatever OmniScript tool that you are using, like IP, OmniScript, or FlexCard. But right now we are not having that example. So again, OmniStudio has provided to test this thing as well. So what we can do is in the preview section, we can pass these parameters from the preview section. So here what we can do is active param is yes, and rating param is equals to hot. And if I click on execute, I'm just receiving only one result because with this combination, there is only one record into the org. So that's the reason. So now what will happen? Two major advantages of this thing by using the input parameters. First is you are not using any hard-coded values. So let's say if you want to use this DataRaptor into your two IP, from the one IP you want to pass active parameter as yes, and from another IP you want to pass active parameter as no. So you can use this same DataRaptor into the both the IPs, because you can pass the active parameter value yes and no from your IP. So it's not hard coded into your DataRaptor. And according to best practices, this is also an optimized way. I mean, wherever you go and develop anything, we should always follow the best practices for optimized code and all these things. So yeah, that's the main benefit.
Yep. So I think this is very clear and it was very simple. So guys, one request, like if you are following all the sessions of this season 2, if you want to practice OmniStudio and want to become expert in OmniStudio, so whatever examples Abhishek is explaining to you and implementing, so after happening the session, you can also have those use cases, scenarios, and try to implement those scenarios in your org, right? And anytime wherever you get stuck, so you can just rewatch this recording. So it will be available on YouTube forever. Anytime if you want to revise the scenarios, so you can just watch it and you can complete your assignments. Okay, so this is what we have planned for today. So this week we will be having one more session, so I will notify you. And I really want to appreciate efforts of Abhishek, like selflessly he is explaining all his expertise so that community people can learn OmniStudio and can thrive in their job. Like if they are developers, so they can become velocity developer, or they can work on industry specific clouds as well. Okay, and if you want to share some reviews or feedback about the bootcamp, so please do that in the comment section. So, like when I receive a good comment or like any extraordinary comment, so I take a screenshot and I share it with Abhishek as well, so that he can feel motivated, because if someone is get benefited through his efforts, so it really means a lot. So, thank you for that, Abhishek. Okay, so thank you guys. So as I told you, lots of other boot camps will be there. So keep on following Sanjay Gupta Tech School. So whatever I can do for you, I am trying to do myself and trying to connect with industry experts as well, so that you can get lots of knowledge and information. Thank you. See you in the next session. I will share you the link soon. Thank you, everyone.